Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real News Talk Show. I am your Real News host, coming to you today with a saying, and it's called "My Old Folks Saying." So, thank you for tuning in, and to please click like, share, and subscribe so that I can always come to you with some more Real News Talk. I'm going to talk to you about some sayings that my grandmother, well, actually start from a great grandmother, things they would say, like speaking Ebonics and just those words, and how they were teaching us certain things and the way they were saying it, and so forth and so on. And it's called My Old Folks Sayings. These sayings are my own personal sayings, and they are copyrighted material. So I'm just going to go over some of them with you. The first one is, you're going to reap what you sow. Now, a lot of this stuff is from the Bible, because a lot of it you're going to hear that they're reciting things from the Bible. A lot of it you're going to hear my grandmother got from a great grandmother. My grandmother was 97, and she got a lot of the sayings from my great grandmother. And then, of course, my mother and my daddy had some sayings, because my daddy got his from his father, who died at 105. So these are some old folks sayings, you guys. So thank you for tuning in, and please don't forget to click that like, share, and subscribe button so I can come back with more real news talk. The first one is, you're going to reap what you sow, and you know what that means? That means a person doing wrong to another person or to hurt someone in any way. A person who do another person wrong for no reason at all, you're going to reap what you sow, because you do not mistreat people that God created on this earth. That's what you're going to reap what you sow. When you do something wrong to someone that didn't do anything to you, you're going to reap what you sow. The second one was, what goes around comes around, which is similar to you're going to reap what you sow. The only thing is that it's going to go around in a circle, and it's going to come back to you, and you're going to know why it came back. What goes around comes around. And they're saying that the same thing you did to someone else that wasn't right, then someone else is going to do that to you. That means what goes around comes around. What you did to somebody, someone else is going to do it to you. So it's a little different than the one that you reap what you sow. Step 3 is, they said a saying about, what's new, Snagger-tooth? What's new, Snagger-tooth? Whether your teeth are missing or not, that was just one of the old folks' sayings. And that means that they haven't seen you in a long time, and you know, they miss you or something, and they hadn't really seen you, you hadn't been by, you hadn't called, then that's kind of like a little sarcastic saying, what's new, Snagger-tooth? Like, where you been? So what's new? You haven't been called, and I haven't seen you, so what's new? What's new, Snagger-tooth? Yeah, my grandmother used to always say that when she haven't seen someone for a while, and they come to her house, and she's like, oh, what's new, Snagger-tooth? Like, where you been? Oh, that was one I really, really didn't forget. And they would say, let your little light shine. They didn't say let your little light shine. Let your little light shine. And that means for you to just stay pure, clean, and you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You can just walk in a room, and your presence will speak for itself. Your light will shine all over the place, because you can walk very assured of yourself that you're clean, you didn't do anybody any wrong. So you just let your little light shine, because if someone did something to you, don't worry about it. Just let your little light shine. You walk in the room and you shine. You can walk in the room with your enemy, and your light is going to shine, because you didn't do anyone any harm. That is a good feeling when you can do that. And you can feel real good about yourself, because you don't have that dirty, icky feeling like, oh, I did something creepy, you know? So let your little light shine. They didn't say let your little light shine, because you didn't do anything wrong to anyone else. And it said, so you can show the world who you are. Let your little light shine, and the world can see you shining. Okay, so another one, number 5, fine as wine. I know you've heard of that. Fine as wine. And that's like my grandmother used to tell us, yeah, fine as wine, because it was like 5 girls in my family, and we had a shape, back in the days. So when we would go places, people go, there they are, they're those sisters, they're those Bertha Butt sisters, boy. And my grandma would say, yeah, fine as wine. I know you've heard of that. That means that your shape is in proportion, which oftentimes most kids' shapes are in proportion because they don't have nothing to do but run around and eat and live off of their parents, and then doing the exercise in school, so that kind of keeps you in shape a little bit. Fine as wine, that's what they would say. One of them is hood rat. Many of us have heard of hood rat. A hood rat is a person who they call a hood rat is someone that's running around from neighbor to neighbor, having sex with various people, including relatives. A hood rat is someone that does not have morals, and they will try to get with a brother, another brother, or a nephew and a brother, because that happened one time in my family. A girl wanted to date my nephew and my brother. And they said, that's a hood rat. When they found out that's a hood rat, how are you going to try to cause friction between the blood of blood? That's a hood rat. Because that can cause, a lot of times, women oftentimes get men in trouble doing that kind of stuff. That's a hood rat. And that's what my grandmother would say. Those are hood rats that do that kind of stuff. Don't be a hood rat. That's what's called a hood rat. Number 7. Your enemy will be your footstool. Now, I'm speaking Ebonics because this is from these are the old folks saying, I'm speaking Ebonics just like they would say it. Your enemy will be your footstool. That means someone that has done you so wrong, and you did nothing but good to them. And they hurt you from the core of your heart, because when you did for them, you did it from the kindness of your heart. You didn't really want anything from it, but respect from that person. That's all you wanted. You didn't want money. You didn't want back what you did. You didn't want any of that. But they did owe you respect. And that person turned around and hurt you, cut you, stabbed you, hurt you as if you did nothing, didn't appreciate nothing you did, and just hurt you to the core, just totally iced you out for no reason, and not associate with you for no reason, and all of what you did for them to help them pull up when they didn't have nothing. You may have helped them become famous, you may have helped them in a relationship, or you may have given them a start in their life, or anything major that would set them on their way, and they turned around and they hurt you. That's an enemy. Your enemy will be your footstool. And guess what? Something always happens where they have to come back to you. And you know what? I've had that situation happen. And when they came back, they didn't know how to say I'm sorry, but I could tell in their expressions that they were sorry. And I was still there, because I never changed. This is a real news talk show, because I'm not phony, and I'm real. That's why I named my show The Real News Talk, because I don't like phony people. I don't want to be around phony people. And I'm not phony. I may have a smile, but it's real. That's the difference, because how I was raised. My smile is real. And I showed people early on, if you check some of my videos, a baby picture with me smiling. Because someone said, well, you always talk about these topics, but you're always smiling. I'm not smiling because I was blessed with a beautiful smile. I was told. That's not from me, because I'm not vain about a smile or anything like that, or anything materialistic, because I'm tapped into the universe, and I know everything belongs to God, and you can have it today and it can be wiped out with the flash of an eye. It's real, the way I was born and the way I hope I die, with a smile. So that's why I can't help it. Like I was telling people in the picture in the background, the Good Housekeeping picture, that's how I made the largest magazine in the world with what God had blessed me with. And I thank God that I still have my teeth, because my mother had pyorrhea of the gums, and you can lose your teeth. And with me being a great great aunt, I still have my teeth. I thank the Lord. So I smile because I want to make other people happy. Okay, so back to this. Your enemy will be your footstool. So those are people that you did everything for, and they were your enemy because you thought that they weren't, because of the fact that they could have been a loved one, a family member, or a friend, and you did everything for them, and they turned on you and they hurt you when you needed them. So they had to be your footstool, had to come to you, needing you once again. Needing you again. Normally, 9 times out of 10, that's how it goes. The piper must pay. There it is again. That's somewhat similar. The piper must pay means the person is going to pay in one way or the other. Whether they pay you, whether they pay somebody else, they definitely going to have to pay to God. That's the main thing. The piper is going to pay for anything that they did wrong to mankind on this heaven and earth. Or even if they went and did a crime, they're going to have to pay by doing their time. You do the crime, you pay the time. The piper must pay. When someone does wrong, they have to pay. And they're going to pay whether they get caught right then or not. They're going to pay because God is going to make them pay before they leave here. Nobody escapes the Creator. He sits high and he looks low. So he knows every thought that we have in our minds. I don't know how people forget that and they think they're getting by with all this stuff. It's not going to happen. Not on this universe here. And I don't know. The sooner they learn it, the better everybody will be. When you learn that you cannot get by with mistreating people and on this earth, and you think you're getting by doing wrong, hurting people, killing people, raping kids, kidnapping kids, abusing kids, sexually molesting children, torturing people, relationship torture and abuse, and oh my God, that stuff, you have to pay for that, for doing wrong to someone in the end. And sometimes when you pay, it could be through someone else you paying. It could be through a loved one that you didn't do it to. Normally that's how it is. It's going to hit somebody that you really cared about, and that payday is going to come through them. And it's really, really painful when you pay with somebody else that you love, that you wouldn't want to hurt like you hurt somebody. But you have to pay. That's when they taught us the piper has to pay before they leave here. Another one my mother taught us girls, if you're going to be a hoe, be a good one. When she said hoe, she meant whore. If you're going to be a hoe, be a good one. Do not run around from man to man to man to man, and you don't have a pot to piss in nor a window to pitch it out of. That's a pitiful hoe, my mother would say. If you're going to sleep around with men, do not sleep around for nothing, because of the fact nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Have some class, because a man respects you when you have class about yourself. Then they're not going to go around and talk about you. But if you just running around, hoeing around with all these different people, and you're not a good one, you're making your name mud, that goes back into the category of being a hood rat. If you're going to be a hoe, be a good one. You can be much more respected being a good hoe than a slut, running around in the streets, hoeing around from man to man to man. If you're going to be a hoe, be a good one. Don't be a slut. Then a man will respect you much more than just laying around gapping your legs open for Tom, Dick, and Harry, and you don't have a pot to piss in nor a window to pitch it out of. They taught us, don't be a hoe. If you are going to be one, don't be a fool. That's what my mother would tell me. And I said, Mama, don't tell me that. She said, you keep living and you're going to see. You keep living. Do not be running around from Tom, Dick, and Harry and make yourself look less than the woman that we're raising you to be. I get it. I get it, what they taught me. I get it. Age ain't nothing but a number, you guys. Age ain't nothing but a number. I am a great aunt. My nieces and nephews, children have children. And people say, I can't believe that. I'm like, believe it. Age ain't nothing but a number. That's how they say it. They didn't say age is not nothing but a number. Age ain't nothing but a number. It's how you take care of yourself, carry yourself, keep yourself up, and respect yourself. Yes, I am a great aunt. I'm not going to tell my age, but I'm a great aunt. I'm going to tell you that much. Yeah. And right now when I do acting, I have to say, like I have to put like 10 years less because I was taught to take care of yourself. And, I didn't eat, you know what? I did not eat right. I ate like every other kid. And I gain weight, I lose weight, I gain weight, I lose weight. But still, it doesn't matter about the weight. It matters how you take care of yourself and how you think. How you think and how you want to take care of yourself. Age ain't nothing but a number. Because you see some younger people looking older than you, and you see some older people looking younger. So age ain't nothing but a number. That's all it is. It's a number. People go by how you look. When you go casting, they're going to cast, like me, when I go casting, they're going to cast me for the age they think I am, not the age that I am. You see what I'm saying? So when they told me that age ain't nothing but a number, I realized that as I got older, because when I was younger, I didn't think like that. I didn't care because I was a child. I feel like I'm a baby anyway, so it don't matter to me. I'm just thankful right now, this day in 2019, that I'm still here to say that I'm a great aunt. My nieces and nephews, children have children. And we could be together and they wouldn't even know who's who, what's what. You see what I'm saying? So age is nothing but a number. That was really one that I like. Sitting on the Gary. Sitting on the Gary, you guys. Sitting on the Gary. Well, back in the days when I was growing up, the Gary, that was considered as a porch. And it's one of the high porches that all the people would sit on, and they would come from everywhere, sitting out talking and drinking coffee, and some are drinking beer. And they had the, those big old barrels where those little bugs be lit up at night, the blue bugs or whatever you call them, and people, neighbors, is just hanging. I would love to go to my grandmother's house. And my dad, boy, come Sunday evening, he would be there with bells on his toes, blowing his horn to pick us up for school, because we had to go to school on Monday the next day, and we would hate to leave because it was just so much fun at grandmother's house. Sitting on the Gary. Everybody be sitting around. On Friday night, they be frying fish, and people be coming the back doors. People kept their doors open there. Didn't nobody rob, steal, killed. Everybody was looking out for each other. They can go borrow sugar, butter from each other. It was just so beautiful. Those were the funnest days of my life, really. And you could just sit out there with them, and old people be talking trash, and these old sayings that I'm telling you now, they'd be saying them, and it was just going on. I did not want to leave. It was fun, because when I got back home, it was like studying for school. I had to jump back to it, because my dad wasn't playing that. Soon as Sunday, before dark, Sunday evening, here you come blowing to get us. We like, oh, Dad, we don't want to go. We don't want to go. You got to go to school, he said. You got to go to school. So we wanted to sit out on the Gary, the porch, and listen to all the old folks' sayings and the old folks talking. Everybody had their own different sayings from their folks, and it was just really beautiful back then. It was beautiful. I mean, those were some touching moments to me, sitting on the Gary, you guys. Another one was, don't let the outside cover fool you. You know what that is. People could look one way, and you could even meet somebody I know people that's met people online and they be looking all one way and then they get them, get them and get to know them and the people are crazy. That's happened to many people that I know have told me how the person was so beautiful, looked like an angel, because they either convinced you with their look, because like most men, they don't see women like another woman would see a woman. To another woman, she may not be as attractive as she could be to that man, because a man just sees a woman for a woman. A lot of men don't get into detail about that, because one guy told me, he said, I don't care how a woman look, if she's a woman, that's what I go for. So that's telling me what they go for is what they want, one thing. But oftentimes you have other men that do go by the look, so they're going to choose the prettiest woman they can find. And guess what? When they get her, she's crazy. She's crazy. She may have a look, she may have her hair, she may have her eyes, she may have the shape. Don't judge the book by its cover. I know a guy told me he met a beautiful woman with hair down to her butt, gorgeous. And the mother never told him the woman was on medication. Then all of a sudden, he was at her house. And the woman go, who are you? What are you doing at my house? Just flipped out, like did a 160-degree turn out of nowhere. The woman was crazy and beautiful. Don't let the book judge you by its cover, because it may be fine on the outside. Even smiling faces can fool you. I have a smiling face, but it's real, and I can bag up what I say. That's the difference. But you have people that smile, and they act like they all that and stuff, and don't judge the book by its cover. They're just doing that to bait you in, and then later you find out there is something seriously wrong inside. See, it's inside, because nobody can get in the brains of another person to know exactly what's going on in that person's head. Bunch of crazy people that look good. That's why nowadays you have men that, I remember in my business, my daughters, they were mixed, and everybody was beautiful and bright and pretty and tall, and one is mixed with about my color, just beautiful girls. And so one guy came in the business and he had a heavy set African woman from Africa, big woman, but the man was African American. And so my daughter was like, wow, he came with her and he is so good looking, and he bought her all of this stuff and spending money on her. And I said, yes. And you know why? Because he's deeper. He's deeper than the average person. He met a woman that he clicked with mentally, and she got it going on upstairs. My daughter go, oh no, she's paying for that man. Oh no, there's no way. I said, it's like that. I mean, people, there's somebody meant for everybody. And so the man was more handsome than the woman, but they clicked and they gelled, and it didn't matter about how that woman looked. He was happy with her. You see what I'm saying? So he didn't judge her by the cover. If he would have judged her by the cover, they wouldn't have been together, and he would have been with somebody that probably wasn't good for him. So don't judge the book by its cover. Please don't. Just don't judge the book by its cover. So yeah, so I'm trying to find this one here. Let me see, where was I at? It's just so many. I said okay, don't let the outside fool you. Okay, money don't grow on trees. Money don't grow on trees. I know you guys heard that. Oh, mommy, I want this, mommy, I want that, mom. Money don't grow on trees. I mean, why would you keep asking me for money as if money just falling out the sky? It does not grow on trees, my mama would say. Money don't grow on trees. You got to earn your stripes here. I'm not going to spoil you like all those little spoiled kids that Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin and them, all they little spoiled kids, they paid the money, the scandal with the colleges to get their children in college, and those kids, half of them didn't even want to go. When you had other kids that wasn't as privileged as them that was smart up here that would have passed the test naturally to get in. You see what I'm saying? So money don't grow on trees. You got to earn it. So the kids that would have gotten in that college would have earned their way. They would have earned their way into that college, and not some money that their parents had made quickly, or whatever, however they made it through their acting skills or whatever, and got those kids in school illegally. When here it is, these kids who was taught money don't grow on trees were ready to pass that test because they were taught the right way. You see what I'm saying? What goes up will come down. What goes up will come down. And I can name a few people that happened to, including Bill Cosby. He's 80-something years old. A lot of people wait till they get old and then that stuff starts crumbling down. All that stuff that they did when they was up, it crashes. And my mother told me that. She said, stay level. So it doesn't matter what I have. Benz is this, that, and the other. Whatever I have, it cannot take the place of a human being, of mankind, because what goes up will come down, and when it comes down very hard. So you may as well stay level with whatever you got, you guys, because it doesn't belong to you no way. None of this stuff belongs to us. This cute little blouse I got on, this don't belong to me. This blouse gonna be here when I'm gone. You know? I have a sister, had everything, and she was rich. It's still here. Matter of fact, when she passed a couple of years ago, her husband asked me to come and get what I wanted, and I told him I didn't need anything. The average person would have been, oh wow, I want this, I want her Gucci purse, I want this, I want that. I didn't want it because it would have reminded me of her too much. I didn't want it because I didn't need it. I didn't want it because I wasn't greedy. I just didn't want it. I didn't want it. And she and I, we pretty much had the same stuff anyway. So I told him to give it to someone that needed it. See, a lot of people get greedy when they already have stuff. And then when somebody dies, they want to run and grab everything, the diamonds, the jewelry, the this. Give it to the grandkids. Give it to the shelter. Give it to the people that need it. I don't want it. I don't want it because I already have stuff that she has given me to remind me of her. I don't want it. I don't want the diamonds. I don't want it. I don't want the Chanel purse, the Gucci, the this, the that. I don't want it. And people were like, why didn't you? Oh, you didn't want it? No, I didn't. Because it was going to remind me of her, and I already have things that she has given me. So what goes up will come down. People that have everything, Bill Cosby, Epstein, a lot of them jump off the bridges. They can't handle the money they have or the success that they've had. Or you got Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Epstein, Weinstein. I mean, it just goes on and on and on with all the money in the world and not happy. When Epstein was in jail, I said to myself, he would rather be a man that was a bum under the bridge, because of the fact that that bum didn't have that weight on him like he did. And that's why he killed himself, because he couldn't take the pressure. Because he was up so high. What goes up will come down, and it comes down crashing. And it comes down hard. When people think their money can buy them over Jesus Christ, it's going to come down. I don't give a damn who it is. I've seen it happen. No money in this world, no star, no billionaire, trillionaire, no one is better than the next man. No better than the bum under the bridge. And you know why? Because God created man. It's simple. It's simple. And I'm glad I was raised that way, because I know the difference, of it. And the apple don't fall too far from the tree. You know what that is. It's a parent that is a bad parent, curses, smokes dope around their kids, just let the kids do whatever, just don't give a damn. And that kid ends up being just like them. Or you got the good parent and the kid is acting like them. The apple don't fall far from the tree. Oftentimes kids be trained a certain way, and because of the fact that they have the cells of their parents. It's easy for them to catch on because they was the apple on the tree. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. So they end up being just like their parents. They really do. They be a carbon copy, whether it's good or whether it's bad. The apple does not fall too far from the tree unless a child parent, it has been so bad to them that they went and got help or got a therapy to not be like the bad apple. That would be the only way that apple that didn't fall too far from the tree wanted to better themselves for the parents that were bad. The parents that disrespected them when they were growing up smoking dope and letting them have their way, this, that, and the other. You see what I'm saying? So that apple does not fall too far from the tree. This is 16. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. My mother said, don't ever let nobody intimidate you. I don't care how big they are. They can be wide, they can be buff, they can be this, they can be that. But don't ever let no one intimidate you on this earth that God created, because he sits high and looks low. Ain't no man bigger than him. And so a lot of this stuff, I was like, Mother, you serious? How you know this? And as I have been living, like I said, I am the great aunt, you guys, of many. I've lost track. I have experienced it because I remember in school, my brother, somebody, they didn't play the dozens. You talk about someone's mother in school and you're going to get it. You know that. My brother, someone said something about my mom, and we were in the same class. And or either I was next door and I heard about the fight or whatever. I ran over there. My brother was left-handed. He was slim. This guy was a big guy. Ooh, he was big. And he knocked the wind out of him. My mother said, because a lot of times people, they're big, talk a lot of big game and a big talk, and nothing but air and cotton candy is in them. He hit him one time with his left hand. See, power comes in all sizes, colors, whatever. Don't let a big person intimidate you, because the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That man fell so hard and flew across that floor until I was shocked that my brother, who was smaller than the man that was walking around bullying people, never let a bully. And when I say big, it doesn't have to even be a big, tall person. It could be a bully, can come in all sizes. So that's what she was saying. Don't ever let anybody that bully you, the bigger they may think, the harder they may fall. They think that they're bigger and better than you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and trying to use mind control to take control of you. He knocked the guy flat out. And so that was right then. I was like, oh, Mother's kind of right. So as they were telling me all of these things started clicking and ticking, and I'm like, oh, okay, telling the truth. Never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Please don't. Stop telling your business, you guys. A lot of times women will go and tell another woman about her husband. Next thing you know, she's creeping with her husband. And it's true, though, because when I was young, and my mom used to say that, never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, and stop talking about your husband. So one time I was young, and this girl, I let my husband take her home because I got married young. And he came back home. He said, that girl was trying to touch on my knee and flirting with me. I thought that was your friend. But because I'm not like that, I just wouldn't think that no one else would be, And so he says, oh no. He said, because I had told about him and how nice he treated me and how he would pick out my clothes and he liked nice things and bought me a diamond bracelet and, never let your left keep your mouth shut, because you may tell a friend, hey, I'm going to buy me a Mercedes 500, 550. I'm going to buy me a Mercedes 550 and I'm going to get it's going to be like a silver gray. And I'm going to get it like next week. Shoot, that person may call you the next day and say, guess what? I got my Mercedes. So you wait until you get what you're going to get and let them see it. You don't have to tell people your business. Just go do it. Even if something is wrong with you, don't tell people your business. You pray for your own stuff and let it happen first. And let people see. But I used to be da 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 telling all my business. My mother said, "Will you please stop telling people your business and just do what you got to do?" So I've learned over the years to keep my mouth shut. I talk a lot because, I have the talk show, and I am into TV and acting, and so I have a big mouth, and I use it for television and videos. So you guys, this is the Real News Talk. Don't forget, click like, share, and subscribe so that I can come back with some more stuff. Okay, shotgun house. A shotgun house, I'm going to kind of speed it up too because this show is a little long. A shotgun house is a house that's made like this, like a shotgun. It's like this, straight out like a shotgun. It's like, wait a minute, I'm going to move up so you can see how long a shotgun is. It's like straight out. You know what I'm saying? And you got your living room, you got your bedroom, you got your kitchen, you got your bathroom, you got your back door steps, okay? Straight down, and the closet is somewhere stuck to the side. That's a shotgun house. So my mother would always go, well, I'm going to the shotgun house. Because out there where my grandmother was, all those houses up and down the block, there were shotgun houses. And they were straight out like a shotgun. Just straight out like a shotgun, you guys. Just like this here. A shotgun. Straight out. Living room, bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, and the back door steps. That's a shotgun house. You can see straight through it all the way down. As soon as you walk in, you're looking at straight ahead. Boy, that was really, really something back in those days, that shotgun house. And they would use terms like okie dokie, okie dokie cowboy terms, okie dokie, howdy doody. My dad was a cowboy, he was like, howdy doody, and boogie woogie, remember that song, boogie woogie? When they say boogie woogie, it make you kind of, because with me saying that boogie woogie, hey, boogie woogie, she doing the boogie woogie. And I was like, oh, what is boogie woogie? But all I know is it make you want to dance. So it's more like a boogie woogie is when it was trying to say that somebody was dancing. Somebody was doing the boogie woogie. I'm like, what? Yeah, they having a party. They doing the boogie woogie over there, the boogie woogie. Okay. My mother used to tell us, your eyes may shine, your teeth may grit, but this is something you won't get. She didn't say your eyes, your eyes. Yo, wow. And so my mother was 8 of us, and she would feed all of us, take care of us, wash, clean, everything. So when it was her time to sit at the table to eat, here we come, looking down at her food. Mother, I want some of your food. She's like, your eyes may shine, your teeth may grit, but this is something you won't get. I get it now. Because it was her time to sit down and finally unwind for herself and all of these little greedy kids. She was teaching us, don't be greedy. You've already had yours. Let mama have hers. I've already taken care of the family. Now it's my time. So your eyes may shine. She didn't care if we begged her for it. She would make us not. Because, when mothers eat stuff, it's like, it's something special about a mother. Even when I would fly from California to visit my mom, it was just a special little sink in her bed, and I would love to sleep in her bed. It had a little dip in it, and I feel it, and it feels so warm. Oh, it was so comforting. It was so comforting, and I would just love it. So it was something about that food. But your eyes may shine, your teeth may grit. This is something. She stuck with that word. Your eyes may shine, your teeth may grit, but this is something you won't get. And we didn't get it either, and I don't blame her. So now I see what she was saying when she was saying those sayings. Another one was association brings about simulation. That means that if you go shopping with someone and they steal, you're associating with a bad crowd. Eventually it's going to rub off on you. If they go to jail, you're going to go to jail. Their habits are going to rub off on you, their ways. And just being with a bad crowd tends to turn other people bad. And you know who normally gets the kick in the butt and go to jail? It'd be the good person that was hanging with the bad person. The bad person always get off, escape, or run away and never get caught. So just by being with them, that good person is the one that normally 9 times out of 10 gets in trouble. So association brings about simulation, and that's what she mean. I don't know where she got those big words. Association brings about simulation. Because back then they didn't really know a lot of words. My dad used to say Yassa boss. I'm like, Yassa boss, why are you saying Yassa boss? He said, I said so y'all can ride on those Schrenn bikes, the most expensive bikes from Germany that there is. That's why I said, because that's where I got those bikes, the idea of getting y'all those bikes. So I say what I say to get what I want to take care of my kids. He said, you got it, and I'm laughing all the way to the bank. He said, I know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, what they want me to say, and I say it, and that's why you guys have Schrenn bikes and designer clothes with 8 children. Okay? I said, oh, okay. I still didn't understand that either because I was young, you know, but later I saw what he was saying, and they would always use words like poo-poo, calling people, hey poo-poo, hey poo-poo, hey boo-boo, you know. And now you better not call nobody poo-poo and boo-boo. They'd be like, I'm not no poo-poo nor no boo-boo. But they got by with saying those words back then to you. And they would go, can't you, don't you, hair? Can't you, don't you, like, can't you, don't you, like you can't do nothing with it. Like somebody had hair so bad. Ooh, she got that can't you, don't you hair. And cuckabugs, you know how people had the little bugs in the back of their head, like little bugs. And they would ball up, you know, like ball up like little knots. They call it cuckabugs. BB shot hair, and BB shot is tighter than a cuckabug. So you had can't you, don't you. You had cuckabugs, and you had BB shots. And so my mother would put us in that kitchen, boy, and have our hair longer than this. She'd straighten that stuff out and put the little bullets on it, and we'd be, oh baby, you couldn't tell us nothing when my mother got through pressing that hair in that kitchen on that stove with that, you know, that pressing comb. She had us looking like Hollywood way back in the day, okay? Oh, they knew how to make it happen. Sure did. Nice and nasty. My mother was saying there are a lot of people can be nice and nasty. They nice on the outside, but they can be nasty, have some nasty ways. And you'll be like confused because you don't know which way they are. Are they nice or are they nasty? She said they're just nice and nasty. There are certain people on this earth that are nice and nasty, and don't you forget it. You may think they're nice, but really deep down inside they're nasty. Sheep in wolf's clothing. Sheep in wolf's clothing is someone that's very beautiful. They look like an angel, and they're your friend, been your friend a long time because you never saw that they were in wolf's clothing until you finally find out years and years later, where you may use them down as a reference for a very high-powered job that you're about to acquire and that you're applying for, and you give them as a reference, and the people call, and that sheep in wolf's clothing that you thought was your friend would tell the people, oh no, don't hire her because she smokes weed. She's not a good mother. If you hire her, you're going to hate you did. Now this was supposed to have been their friend. That's a sheep in wolf's clothing because they thought that the person was really, really nice, but the person was a sheep in wolf's clothing, tried to destroy the person from getting the job out of being evil. That's the pure devil. A sheep in wolf's clothing is smooth, they cool, no one knows it, other people don't know it, and it just so happened that God would allow the good person to know it through something such as that happened. And I know someone that this really happened to, and that woman went looking for her. But guess what? The person that hired her told her, the person that she applied for the job told her, you're going to get this job. And the reason why, because you was kind enough to put her down as a reference, and that devil tried to stop you, saying you smoke weed and all these negative things about you. And if you felt that about her, you would not have put her down as a reference. So you got the job. And I heard that girl went looking for that woman that sheep in wolf's clothing too. I'm glad she didn't find her because no telling what could have happened. That could have been another tragedy. Because of the fact of trusting someone that was a sheep in wolf's clothing, and behind her back, her friend, supposedly. That's why my mother said you don't need a whole lot of women friends, because women can be very, very dangerous to each other, which is sad. I never understood that because I never had that in my heart and soul, and that was why when my mom would teach me these things, I really didn't catch on to it until life started teaching me as I gotten older. And I still don't want to believe people are like that. You know, I really don't, but it's true. This world is something else. And like my grandmother said, you keep living. And all of these old sayings come from my great-grandmother who raised my mother, which would be almost 200 years ago. Because my grandmother was almost 100 when she died. And so her mother, who had her, that she would have been almost 200. So it's really, really something, that sheep and wolves clothing. And my mother used to say to people that that are mixed, because you know most African American people are mixed with everything unless they're just pure blooded African. So she would say, "You not black, you not white, you not dark, you not light, you just right," which means you're all of it, animal-legits. So that's what she would tell us. You're not black, you're not white, you're not dark, you're not light, you just right. That means you are all of it and a bowl of chips. So it's not like you're just one category, you know. So she's like, you're not any of that, which means when she said it like that, that meant you're all of that and a bowl of chips. So they were building up self-esteem in kids so that when they got around anybody, it didn't matter who you were. You could walk and stand up on the mountaintop and feel good about yourself. And I am so happy I had parents like that. I really am. And so one of them was like, it's cheaper to keep her. Now, men, you know that's true. It's cheaper to keep her because of the fact that if a woman go out and have 2 or 3 kids on you, she can have 1 or 2. And you go and play around on her, and you keep playing around on her, she give you a divorce, you're going to have to pay for the kids with her, and you may have more with her than you do with that other person, and then you'll have to pay here, there, and everywhere. It's cheaper to keep her if you can make it work. Now, if you keep playing around, or either that woman too, she could be playing around, and you may have to go to therapy to keep her, just so that you won't have to pay, because a woman can go and play around on a man with kids, and she could be the reason that they're divorcing, and he's still going to have to pay child support. So it's cheaper to keep her any which way you look at it, whether it's the woman playing around on the man. It's cheaper to keep her because she's the one that's bearing the kids. And that's why my mother would say it's cheaper to keep her. And what you see is what you get. That's what my mother would tell us, like if they bought us something and we want more, they would say, what you see is what you get. Be thankful in what you got. Don't sit up here and want more, because what you see, that's what you're going to get right now. So you may as well just shut up and say thank you. Say thank you for what you got. Be thankful for what you got. So you guys, with that, I've said, let me see how many, 34 old folk sayings. And like I said, these are my copyright sayings, and I have many more. I'm going to come back. That's part 1 of some of them. But I will be coming back with more real news talking. This is real news. This is real stuff that actually that I remember my people telling me. And I'm going to have a lot of it in my book. I have a lot of stuff in my book too, old stuff. And as I was saying, people always say, well, you smile all the time, and you're talking about people killing people with a smile. And well, as I showed them, I just can't help myself. Here I am in the book, smiling. See? Same one. Same little smile, you guys, with my arm out, just like my arm is up on that picture. I landed up there with Good Housekeeping magazine with my arms out over the water. That's another story I'm going to tell everybody too, of how that happened. And I'm in several books, but that was something major there that happened to me when I came to be with my bedridden mother. So I'm going to end my show, but please click like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to come back with some more of the old folks saying this is the Real News Talk Show. And I'm your Real News host, and I will return. Thank you for tuning in, and I gotta go. Bye.